I know people are like always scared of change, but I feel like I used to be really scared of change too, but I feel like I'm less afraid of change because change sometimes can really be so good and like you need that change and you don't realize it until after it's happened and you can like kind of look back and be like, wow, I was in such a terrible place. I'm like a huge proponent of positive thinking, which is funny because like in my band, everybody else is like super realistic. I'm always like the person who's like, wow, like we just like hear an inkling of something and I'm like, oh my God, we're gonna be doing that. And they're like, no one confirmed anything with us. And I'm like, if you just say it out loud and you're excited about it, like that energy is gonna be, it's gonna like pull through. And like most of the time the things happen.
Welcome to the Collaborative Resource Hub by Wellness Provisions. We're bridging the gap between mental health, wellness, and rock and roll. I'm Amy McBride, owner of Wellness Provisions, the most badass wellness business. Hey, are you feeling a little stuck in life? I offer wellness coaching sessions. Book a session with me if you're seeking to get healthy and ahead. Sessions are available worldwide. And check this out. Wellness Provisions supplies rock and rollers with high-quality supplements. We've simplified your shopping experience and given you a trustworthy place to go where you can essentially shop blindfolded. And did you know all our Collaborative Resource Hub interviews air on YouTube as well as all major podcast platforms? Subscribe to stay in the loop. Go immerse yourself in the full Collaborative Resource Hub experience over on our website. You'll have access to helpful resources that will inspire and educate you. So let's inspire each other. If that guy did it, so can you. Last but not least, my legal disclaimer. Nothing in this interview or the Collaborative Resource Hub substitutes medical advice. Please connect with your GP if you need medical guidance. So before we jump into the interview with Catbite, we're going to have a quick chat with T from Oi to the World, who put out a really cool compilation called Females in Punk, Oi, and Ska, who feature several of the artists that we've interviewed, such as Catbite, the Anti-Queens, and also Jenny Wu from Rebels Roll. So check it out. So T, tell me, why is your label and this compilation specifically so important to you and the scene?
So I've been playing music for a while, probably 15 years. And obviously been like a fan of punk rock for 25, if not longer. Being able to contribute to not only my band and like other bands was always like the start. Like a lot of people start playing shows and they're like, oh, let's get a whole bunch of people together. And if your friends are into the music, it's great. But then you start to realize your friends that aren't going to show up.
Yeah.
They'll tell you, let me know when your band's playing, and then they won't show up. So then, you start to get like all these like-minded people, and then you find friends that play like other music, and it takes a little time to kind of get involved. I wanted to tour. So then you start to realize, like, as you reach out to people, like the more you help, like the more you'll probably get back. And then you start to realize it's not just about hanging out, playing music. This is actually like a little more, it is a friendship. It sounds cliche, but it is a bond, but it is a community. If you're really serious about trying to do what you do well, then the more you help other people, like, you're just going to go farther. Anything to help like support people, it just brings people together. Quarantine comes around, and I always wanted to start, promoting stuff, and had all the time in the world. Just couldn't go anywhere. So I started doing a couple compilations with this third one. I've always been like big fan of inclusion. I remember throughout like a lot of like the scenes, but especially for like street punk, oi, and even ska, there was not like a lot of female bands, but not even that many females like at shows.
Yeah.
Heavily dominated, obviously, like in the mosh pit, stuff like that, but like not even on the outskirts. 20 years ago, I felt there was more females at shows than there are now. Even like the skinhead scene, like skinhead ska, skinhead oi, it's like heavily male dominated. I want to do like another comp. I want to try to do something different, here and there. And I was like, this would be awesome. I was like, so reached out to some people like I knew had my band, Dead End Lane, and a few of our friends. I hit up Jenny Wu because I was like, you have to start there. Yeah, my goal was to get on every comp some popular bands that people are going to like, and then get some up and coming bands that I want to kind of help that are like underrepresented. And then Catbite was coming up. I had no idea they were going to be as popular as they were. I knew they had a lot going on.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that at least like a handful of bands in every comp I do, if I do a comp, are bands that a lot of people haven't heard of, because as a band, that's kind of what you want. You want that exposure.
I love, it's true though, with the compilations, and it's the same kind of premise that I have with these interviews is, There's a mix of artists. Some are more well-known than others, but everyone has, an awesome sound or a really important story to share, and it is going to be worth your time, like hearing it. So it's cool to have that mix. So you're doing awesome things for the scene, and people can get the compilation. They can buy physical copies as well as download it, right?
Yeah, if you search for Oi to the World on Bandcamp, that's where the comp is for streaming. But I've got links to Instagram.
Well, job well done. And without further ado, we can jump into the interview now. Brittany, thank you so much for sitting down and chatting with me today. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me.
Cool. So you are the singer of Catbite. For anyone who has not heard your band before, how would you describe your music?
So we are ska band that minus horns, and we're very much kind of like power poppy, rock and rolly, soul kind of ska.
Just good shit to dance to.
Yeah, super fun, like energetic, high energy. It's really fun to play.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. So let me ask you, because I like to immediately change the topic from music to wellness.
Sure.
What does well-being mean to you?
I think well-being for me would mean like taking care of not just like physical body, but mental, like, my mind, and taking care of like one, not more than the other.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like a general, like, if I'm working on my mind, I should also be working on my body.
Yeah. So like a cohesive, like holistic approach where everything, it's all slices for one pie, which is you.
Right. So like if I'm focusing on one thing more than the other, there's going to be a problem at some point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It'll throw something else off balance. Is there anything that you are thankful for knowing now, as more like recent years, that you wished you'd known when you were younger or at some earlier point in your life?
Yes, actually, so I started taking a medication when I was 24, when I started like really experiencing like symptoms of depression and anxiety. And it was like really difficult for me to get on medication, although my mom has like suffered from lots of different things, but clinical depression and anxiety she has had, like, over the course of me being with my mom. So I knew it was always something that like would be a possibility for me, but I just never wanted to be like that person who had to take something every day for like however long, maybe the rest of my life. But then I did it, and it was like nothing changed about who I am. It was just like fixing that like little blip in my brain. And I think like me now, I'm 29, like I would definitely tell my younger self, like, don't freak out. Nothing's going to change about who you are as a person. It's not going to change your personality. It's literally just going to like make you better.
Yeah. Was it hard to find like the right dosage or anything with like getting on a medication? Because I know a lot of people struggle with that, and then some just lose hope.
Yeah. So, I mean, well, I was pretty lucky, I think, because the doctor that I had, I told her like how nervous I was, and like how hesitant I was to be taking medication. And she started me off on a very low dose. And I think like that was perfect for me because like I know, like, I've heard like horror stories of some people going to the doctor and their doctor's like immediately like, like 50 milligrams of whatever this medication that their body has never had before. And then they just like go off the rails.
Yeah.
So she started me on a very low dose, and I've since like moved up a little bit, but it was a very good ease into like medication.
Yeah.
It wasn't crazy for me, and my body didn't react like in a terrible way or anything. Yeah.
That's good. And so has there been anything else that you've incorporated since then or even presently to maintain feeling good, or, to kind of level out if you feel like anxiety at all coming on or anything like that? Anything else you do?
Yeah, so I go to therapy. I haven't been like in in-person therapy in a while, obviously. But I've been doing therapy. I was doing one every week. We do every 2 weeks now. So I talk to somebody. I am very much someone who likes to talk about how I'm feeling and the things that are like going through my mind. Um, but along with that, like I like to try to stretch and exercise and like just do like as much like kind of movement because it makes me feel really good, especially like if I can like get up in the morning, get that done, and then like I have like I don't know, it just makes me feel like wow, I've got like the rest of my day to like do whatever I want. It's just a good feeling. It like makes me feel like I've already got like this like big milestone out of the way, you know?
Yeah, it's like a pride, and like you accomplished something really good for yourself. Like it, I mean, that's like, because I told you before we jumped on here, I exercised this morning.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, yeah, like I'm already like on my day and it feels good.
Yeah.
Cool. um, with the therapy that you do, is it just like a regular, just like talk therapy, or is there anything kind of like unique about you or like your therapist, what you do?
So the therapist that I see right now, it's pretty much just like talk therapy. I have talked to her about I've had like other therapists tell me that I need to start doing like I forget exactly what it's called, but I guess it's like something where like they'll do like things that will like trigger memories from like when you were younger. Psychoactive therapy or something like that.
Okay.
um which I'm not ready for yet, and I like for a while was like I gotta do that, but like for me in this moment in time, like talk therapy has been very helpful, and like it's anytime that I've like felt myself feeling like waves of depression or anxiety like really badly, the next time when I do speak to my therapist, it always makes me like feel super relieved.
Hmm.
So like at this moment, talk therapy has been really, really helpful for me.
Yeah.
But it's something that has come up multiple times, like not just with the therapist that I see now, but like other therapists that eventually I'll have to do that. Um, when will I be ready? I don't know. It's like something that I know for me in this moment in time, I'm not ready to like dig into that.
Yeah, but I mean, but that's like, you make a awesome point with that though, because some people may feel pressured or obligated, like if their doctor is telling them like, oh, this is what you should be doing. And it's like, if
Yeah.
it doesn't feel right, don't do it yet, because like you're not ready to look that deep or to go there.
Yeah. Yeah. I had a therapist tell me once, she was like, you're like an old dusty house. And I was like, wait, where are you going with this? She's like, you're like an old dusty house and you're gonna start cleaning the house. And then like once you start doing that, all the dust is gonna come up and then you have to gonna deal with all the dust coming up. And I was like, okay, I see what you're saying.
That's actually really good. I like the visual with that. That's a really good analogy.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It was like it was perfect. I thought it was hilarious the way she said it, but yeah, I mean, I'm just an old dusty house still, and like I'm not ready to clean it yet.
Yeah, yeah. Keep the dust there. Don't take the rug outside and like beat it with
Mhm,
the thing.
mhm. Too much dust. Can't handle that yet.
Yeah. Do you journal or anything like in between your sessions for you to kind of help process?
I have in the past. I haven't really been recently just because like we've been super busy. But it definitely is like a really good thing to do. Like when I do normally write in a like a journal type thing, it's just kind of like stream of consciousness. Like literally, like I'll like think back like a day and be like, what happened this day, and just like
Hmm.
everything that I was like feeling that day. But it's very helpful to write it down and then like reread it and be like, why was I feeling that way? Or, because sometimes you forget. Like it's like I don't know. It's very helpful.
It's also cool, like if you go back and read it and then kind of realize like whatever time frame it is, like, oh wow, like I don't feel that way anymore. So
Yeah.
that things do change and things improve.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's definitely like a really, really nice reminder that things change. And like I know people are like always scared of change, but I feel like I used to be really scared of change too, but I feel like I'm less afraid of change because change sometimes can really be so good and like you need that change and you don't realize it until after it's happened and you can like kind of look back and be like, wow, I was in such a terrible place.
Yeah, well, and that's it too, is like feeling bad if that's someone's constant, like that's what's comfortable, even though it's
Right.
not healthy, it's
Right.
what's familiar. And so to break out from that, even if you're going to feel better, yeah, it's change and that can be really scary for people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's an advert in less than 20 seconds. Did you know that Wellness Provisions offers one-on-one wellness sessions? Yep. So if you're seeking to get healthy and ahead in life, but feeling a little stuck, then book a session and let's get you unstuck. Now back to the interview. How important is positive thinking to you? Because that can also kind of play into change and perception of, what's changing and how it feels.
Yeah, I'm like a huge proponent of positive thinking, which is funny because like in my band, everybody else is like super realistic. Like I'm always like the person who's like, wow, like we just like hear an inkling of something and I'm like, oh my God, we're gonna be doing that. And they're like, no one confirmed anything with us. And I'm like, if you just say it out loud and you're excited about it, like that energy is it's gonna like pull through. And like most of the time the things happen. And I'm like, that's what happens. Like you just literally have to be like, I'm gonna be doing that. We're gonna be like playing this show. And most of the time it happens. And I feel like it's because of me and my positive energy. But
I think so. You are the strongest magnet out of your band and you're pulling the good stuff to you.
yeah, I mean it is always like really it's always, obviously it's such a such a bummer like if it doesn't happen and then I'm like super hype and then obviously not hype anymore. But I don't know. I have always been like a super optimistic and like positive person all my life. And I really don't know why. Because my brother's not that way. I don't know if my parents are really that way. I don't know. I it just makes me feel better.
But that's even cooler. I mean, and like more special that it is truly unique to you and like your brain, your experiences that like you have that positivity.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's one of my favorite books I recommend because like I do like wellness coaching stuff, but everyone I like that I work with, I'm like, you have to read this book. And it's called it's by Dr. Robert Anthony, and it's like The Power of Positive Thinking, a no nonsense guide to getting what you want, I think is what it's called. It's the stupidest title,
Yeah.
such a dumb title, but it is like it's just filled with all of these gems of like really awesome ways to, new perspectives that you can kind of adopt and like how to kind of like brainwash yourself into basically being you.
Well, I'm gonna have to have everybody in my band read that because which like I appreciate them being real and like I get that what I get them being that way, but like maybe it's also because I feel like I've always been like a really big dreamer too. So maybe that has something to do with it. Like I've always had really big dreams. Obviously, I've always wanted to be a musician and now I'm doing that, but like that was always like a dream of mine as like a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
And I was just always like, I'm gonna do it, you know? So I don't know, but I would love to read that book.
Yeah, I'll send you the like information, the link on it so you can get it and give everybody a copy. It's like $10 or something. It's but yeah, like it's true though, because so many people they come from looking at their future based on their past and like those limitations, whatever you've experienced in the past, but like there's no reason you have to like cap your future. Like it's not up to you to deem what's like possible,
Right.
Yeah. Dreaming big And it's hard. I mean, because like I struggle with that sometimes of like really believing it.
Mhm.
But like, what's the alternative? Like, you just stay where you are, and like that sucks.
Yeah. I mean, like, stay where you are, and like, if you're comfortable with that, then you're gonna end up in that position. But like, you have to push yourself. You know what I mean? Like, if that's something, if your goal is something that you truly believe in and really want, then you'll do it.
Yeah. And that's it too. You touch on a good point of having a why, like what is your goal? Like what's the impact you want to make? Because that is the driving force.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, if you just have like some kind of faint idea of something that you want to end up doing, or this person that you want to become, you have to like believe in yourself, and you have to have this like set idea in your mind of something that you want to reach, and like once you reach that point, have another goal of like something else that you want to reach. Just like it has to be like continuous.
Yeah. Do you want to share what your like next goal? Oh, Kitty. Do you want to share what your next goal is that you're working towards?
My next goal, I mean, music wise, is to just continue what we're doing, because like this has been so exciting, and like this is literally like I want to tour. Like that's like our next goal, or my next goal at least. I've always wanted to tour. I've never really toured yet. And then obviously the whole world shut down, so like tours were not possible. But like slowly things are coming back, and I'm like, oh my god, this is like actual reality. Like I could be able to do this. So that's like my main music goal at the moment. For person goal,
Yeah.
um, I think just like I struggle with like saying no to like when people ask me to do things. That's always been like a thing that I've had issues with. I've since like definitely it's something I've worked on in therapy. I've since been able to do better at like work. I think that's like where it started. I think because I as like a young person working, like when did I start working? When I was like 16. And you have like, your boss asks you to do something, and you just feel like, well, it's my boss, so I have to do it.
Yeah.
But I've just like continued that until like recently, and realizing like I really don't have to do exactly what they're asking me to do if I don't feel comfortable. It's most of the time like them asking me to like overwork myself. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And I'm always like, yeah, I guess I can do it fine. Or like I can stay like 3 hours later than I'm supposed to, or whatever the, whatever the thing is. But so I've been doing better in work things, like my job stuff. But like in other aspects of life, I'm still working on that. So
Yeah. It's hard. It's hard to realize that you can say no because I mean, I think everybody we fear of like upsetting the other person or
yeah,
like for work stuff. Well, what if they fire me?
yeah,
But then the other side of that I mean, because unless it's just for my sanity, but I think like, okay, hypothetically, if you said no to your boss, I'm not gonna fuck you. I'm not saying 3 hours over
yeah.
and they fire you. Well, then to me, that's like meant to be. And there's another opportunity that's going to be far better. Like the universe like shoves things on you sometimes, I feel like.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, if they are asking all of this of me, and then they end up firing me, then it's like that wasn't really the place I was supposed to be.
Totally. So I guess it kind of like brings to the point that like, yeah, you have to make the decisions that feel good for you. And if it doesn't, then it was like, let it go. Like it wasn't
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's like another thing with like change. People are like, well, it's gonna be different if I, lose this job. I've been at this job and now I have to get a new job, which I also am like, I hate getting new jobs and having to like redo the whole, hi, I'm Brittany, like how long have you worked here? Oh, I'm new. Like I hate that so much
Yeah.
that like part of me would like stay at an old job even though I hate it, just because I hate that part so much. But yeah, it's like it's overall will make you feel so much better.
Totally. Yes. What kind of things do you do like on your day to day just to really care for yourself? Like, if it is still just exercise, or like, do you do like, a face mask and listen to like relaxing music? Like what's your deal?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So I really like listening. That's funny they say relaxing music because I listen to like murder podcasts.
You're one of those. There's so many people that love those things.
Yeah, I'm definitely not a murderino full time, but I like listening to like crime show podcasts. And I'm just like, I go through like these periods of where I'm listening to music all the time. And then right now I'm in the period of like, I don't want to listen to any music, which is so funny because like people who are not like really musicians, like they don't really, that's not like something that they do as like a focus. They're like, I can't believe you can never listen to music. You're a musician. And I'm like, I can't even explain. Like sometimes I literally don't want to hear any music.
Uh-huh.
Like, I need to listen to just like people talking in like a monotone voice.
Yeah. Just like less stimulation. It just gets to be just
Yeah.
too much sometimes.
Yeah. I maybe that's it. I don't know. I don't know. Like Tim and I have talked about this, and like our bass player Ben, he's like, I don't even listen. He's like, I never listen to music. We're just like, I don't know what it is, but like sometimes we just need a freaking break. So I'm on this like murder like crime show podcast kick right now, which I really like, and I'll just like put it on and like wash the dishes or like do like some chores.
He stabbed her in the face 15 times.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh my God, washing the dishes. What the heck? That's wild. Yeah. Yeah, so that's something that I really like to do. I also purchased roller skates during the like pandemic. So I've been roller skating and it's so fun. I really, really like it. Yeah, and then I don't know, just like I do like face masks and stuff like that. I've been trying to do every day like do like my face routine, which like sometimes I fall off, but I've been doing pretty good the last couple weeks. Like I'll get up in the morning, do my like face serums and stuff. I have that like roller thing.
Uh-huh.
Do the roller. It feels so good. So I've been doing that and it makes me feel nice.
Awesome. That's good.
Yeah.
Like a jade roller kind of a.
Yeah, it's a rose quartz roller, so it's a pink one.
Do you ever take your roller and like charge it in like the full moon and that kind of stuff? Because it's still like a stone, like a gemstone.
Oh no, I've never done that, but I'll have to try to do that.
Yeah, infuse it with like really good energy.
Yeah. Yeah, I should do that.
What does eating healthy look like to you?
I think just like trying to eat more balanced, try to eat more greens and vegetables and fruits, which I definitely like struggle with also because like I'm a bartender and so like my shifts are always usually pretty late, and like the one I work at two places. The one place that I work, we do have like a lot of more like we're like we have a lot of like veggie options and like vegan options, so like there's definitely better stuff there, but like I'll tend to go for like the hoagies and like I'll just like eat bread all the time. So like trying to like have more balanced meals is something that I have been working on, and not eating late, because that's an issue that like obviously it's hard because I work late and then I'm just like hungry. But that's something that I'm like constantly working on. And I've been doing like smoothies recently.
Oh, cool.
Like spinach and kale and cucumber and like those like green kind of smoothies, and chia seeds. Oh, I've been drinking chia water.
Yeah.
I just started doing that. Yeah. My friend posted about it on Instagram and I was like, what the heck is this? And so I just like looked into it, and then the next day me and Tim got chia seeds. And we've been drinking chia water. It is so good.
Is it just you just have plain water and then you're just adding the chia seeds and let them kind of like inflate and do their thing?
Yeah, we just like leave them for like I guess like an hour or something, and then we'll drink it. And they're like, yeah, they're like kind of like jelly-ish.
Yeah.
Like lemons in there. It's really good.
Yeah, I used to because I used to work like in, health food stores and stuff. And I would tell people they'd be interested wanting to know about chia seeds, maybe back when it was like a trendy thing or something. And I was telling people, I'm like, it's kind of like fish roe, like the fish eggs.
Yeah.
And I realized, because it is, in all fairness, but I realized the reactions I was getting they weren't positive, and I was like, I should probably not use this analogy.
They're like, oh no.
They're like, ew. Yeah. One thing that I used to do a lot was like a greens powder and then just mix that with water. And then I would put my chia seeds in that. And my boyfriend at the time called it my frog juice because it was like green and like, lumpy with the chia seeds.
Yeah. Frog juice, baby. Sounds good to me.
Yeah. I mean, it was, and it's like super healthy. So yeah, you're getting your good omegas and fiber and stuff.
Yeah, I have really been enjoying it, and I wish that like we would have known about that before. But hey, Instagram, it's got lots of information.
And you know about it now, so that's what matters.
Yeah, now I'm just chugging chia water all the time.
That's awesome. How much do you put in a glass of water in case anyone listening is going to want to know what your recipe is?
So you put, I think it's 2 tablespoons of chia seeds and a cup of water, and you just like I think you can let it sit overnight, or you can let it sit for like 20-30 minutes, and then you can drink it, and like the water's like soaking up all that good stuff.
Yeah. Another thing you can do, I mean, like if you're at all curious, is I get chia seeds, and then I use coconut milk as my preferred milk. So whatever your milk is, pour some of that in there, and then you can do just like eyeball like a little bit of vanilla extract, a little cinnamon if you want or something, and then just kind of like stir it up and then keep tending to it, and you make like the pudding, like chia pudding. Super easy.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm. And then just chop up like fresh fruit with it. So for people who are used to eating like oatmeal or wanting something like that for breakfast, yeah, it's easy. You can do it the night before and then just let it sit overnight.
What? Oh, I'm gonna have to try that. Yeah, that sounds really good.
Do you take any supplements?
I have been taking a supplement recently. I never really took supplements before. I take this, it's called Living Greens. It's I forget who makes it, but it's like a big like glass bottle, and it just literally has like all types of greens in it. And I actually got that because one of like a Christmas present that we got from work actually was like a $50 gift card to this like health food store, which was really cool because like I hadn't been there and I'd been wanting to go. It's like a little pricey, but I was like, yo, I got a $50 gift card.
Yeah.
So I got that there, and I really, really like it. And I feel like I feel a lot better than I was feeling before. I don't know if that's just like my mind be like, you're taking supplements now, you feel so much better, or if I actually feel better. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you're is it a brown glass bottle?
It's like a dark green glass bottle.
Yeah. Because I thought maybe it was the brand Health Force, their stuff, because they do a greens, and I thought it was called that. But either way, it's just me being curious. But yeah, the greens, I mean, it's like crucial nutrients. It's helping to make your body more alkaline, oxygenate your body. Like that's all, like you're going to feel a difference on that. So
yeah, well then it must be those.
Yeah, and add your chia seeds to it, and you can have your own frog juice.
Yeah, I have to do that.
Yeah. So do you do any like meditating or breathing or anything like that for yourself during the day?
I've never really tried meditating or like breathing exercises. My mom has like done like meditating kind of exercises and stuff and has like told me about it. I just have never really got into it, but I'm sure it would be helpful for me.
Yeah. One day it'll click.
Yeah.
When the time is right. I mean, even if it's like 10 minutes or whatever, like it's awesome. A lot, and starting with like a guided meditation, it's always easier, but it just like chills your brain out and like lets you just stop going a mile a minute.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that would definitely be, it sounds like it would be helpful for me. I do have like the Headspace app.
Oh yeah.
And it's just been on my phone forever. And I look at it all the time and I'm just like, I know, I don't know what's like stopping me from doing it, but
Well, how about starting today or tomorrow? Do it. Do it once. Challenge yourself. Do it every day for a week. Pick like a short one every day for a week, and I will check back in with you
Okay.
and see how you're doing.
Okay.
Challenge accepted?
Challenge accepted.
Okay, good. You will notice a benefit, just like your greens powder.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure I will. I'm sure I will.
Do you have a quote that you just love a lot that you would like to share?
Yes. So this is a quote from Roald Dahl. He is a writer from the UK. He's a British writer and author. It actually is about positive thinking. It's from a book that he wrote called The Twits. So he writes like, I think he mostly writes like children's books, which is funny that I really like this quote. But I think it's like super powerful and like helpful for adults to think about. So it says, if you have good thoughts, they will shine out of your face like sunbeams and you will always look lovely.
Yeah, I like that. But that's it. I mean, the stuff, if it's written for a kid, it's so simple. And who
Yeah.
doesn't like simple? I like
Yeah, exactly. Me too. It just is like laid out right in front of you. Like,
it's good.
yeah.
So the tagline for wellness provisions for my business is delay dying. So I like to ask people if you have any like tips or suggestions on how to delay dying, or in other words, live happy and healthy. What would you offer?
I think I would say do your best to create wellness in like all aspects of life, your mind, your body, your environment, and drink your chia water and talk to someone. Like if you're feeling down or you're feeling anything out of the ordinary, or you just like are feeling lots of feelings, lots of thoughts all at once, like talk to somebody because it's really helpful.
Solid advice. It is. I mean, it is though, because it's true. People don't want to be a burden, and they feel like no one has time, to listen to them. And that is not true. Like everybody, like there are people in your life, in my life, and whoever's life, like they care about us and they will listen. So reach out.
Yeah.
Mhm. Does your band have anything cool coming up or coming out? I know your album just recently came out.
We just put our album out. It's our second album and we're so excited. We have some shows coming up. We're going to be playing Supernova Fest in like mid-September. And we're going to be playing the fest in Gainesville, like in Halloween, around Halloween time.
Yeah.
But we have like a new merch store too that's out online. I think you could just go to catbite.net and we'll have all our merch and we've got all our tour info and all the good stuff is on there. Catbite.net.
Cool. Yeah, I'll have all the links and stuff
Okay.
to pair with this too.
Cool.
Awesome. What's like the one piece of merch that you have that you're most excited about, that you think is the coolest?
We have an enamel pin that is the 4 large Cokes enamel pin. I don't know if you're aware of like the 4 large Cokes story. All right, so real quick, Tim finally went to Burger King through the drive-through by himself ever in his life because he hates the drive-through. And he went through the drive-through and somehow like in his like anxious ball of energy body, he ordered 4 large meals. And so they asked him to like pull over because they had like a bunch of stuff to give him. And so someone walked out and he's like, the first thing they walked out with was 4 large Cokes. And he was like, what have I done? So now it became like a thing on the internet, 4 large Cokes meme. And he like had them in the seat next to him and he seatbelted them in. So 4 large Cokes, it's an enamel pin that says Catbite and 4 large Cokes, and it's like in the style of like Black Flag. The Cokes are like the lines. Ridiculous.
That's awesome.
It's an enamel pin and I love enamel pins. I can't wait to get it.
That's awesome. That's so, was he just trying to get just like one meal for himself?
He just wanted, I think he was going to get two because I was probably out somewhere and he was going to get me something, and somehow ordered 4 large meals. And And then he immediately texted me. He was like, I messed up.
And this was like $80.
Yeah, I can't imagine. It must have been really expensive.
Oh my God, that's funny. That's awesome. Well, cool. Brittany, thank you so much for sitting down and chatting. I enjoyed getting to know you and your perspective on things. This was cool.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. Enjoy the rest of your day. And I'm going to be following up with you on your Headspace app stuff.
Okay. All right. I'm on it.
All right.